This video is a message for parents who want to help their sons to become achievers in school. My name is Dr. James Brown. I have been working in education for more than 40 years. During that time, besides teaching and studying, I have been engaged in research into the factors that play a role in increasing the probability that children will achieve to the maximum of their potential in school. Now, while girls are doing well in school, for a number of reasons, boys in general are not achieving to the maximum of their potential. Would an 80% success rate be good enough? Well, suppose you have a son and you are informed that there's a 20% probability that he will be diagnosed with a very deadly form of cancer for which a cure is unlikely. Of course, conversely, there's an 80% probability that he will not be diagnosed with it. As a parent, would you prefer to take relatively minor steps to significantly decrease his risk of getting this cancer, or to wait and see if he actually gets it? And if he does, have him undergo treatment for it at that time. Now suppose you have a son and you were informed that there's a 20% probability that he will develop serious learning problems for which a solution is unlikely. Again, conversely, there's an 80% probability he will not. As a parent, would you prefer to take relatively minor steps to significantly decrease his risk of developing these problems, or to wait, and if he does, have him try to deal with them then? Would you take simple steps to reduce the risk your son is facing? After all, 80% is good enough, isn't it? Are you prepared to risk your son's future? Perhaps an ounce of prevention really is worth a pound of cure. After years of being more successful, today many boys are less successful in the education system than girls are, even though they have the ability to do just as well. These boys are underachievers. Underachievers are those who score high on tests of ability but underperform in school or other academic settings. Underachievers are most often boys. As a result, boys are not being prepared for the knowledge-based economy our society has now entered. For example, in the past 10 years, there has been a 70% increase in the number of boys indicating that they will never set foot in a classroom again once they leave secondary school. Only 40% of university students are male, and this percentage is declining. Males are in the minority in almost all professional schools, and this percentage is also declining. Meanwhile, university graduates earn 70% more than high school graduates, and those without post-secondary education are much more likely to face a lifetime of long-term unemployment. The social and economic future faced by much of the current cohort of young boys is bleak. In fact, it is worse than most people appear to realize. And ultimately, this bleak future will negatively affect all of our society, not just the boys themselves. 3 factors contributing to the underachievement of boys are: number 1, parental practice; number 2, the school system; and number 3, society in general. The focus of this presentation is on the first of these, that is, how parents can help their sons to become achievers in school. Educational research indicates that the number 1 predictor of long-term success in school is the level of reading readiness a child has before starting school. Today, largely due to societal factors and parental practices, some boys are as much as 6 months behind girls their age in terms of reading readiness when they start school. As shown by the educational research, it is evident that in spite of good intentions, the school system is not very successful in helping these boys to close the gap. As a result, many boys struggle at school. In fact, some boys go on to develop learning disabilities that are psychological in nature. These are learning disabilities for which the only known cure is years of psychotherapy. These struggles at school often result in these boys failing to be engaged by schooling in general at a very young age. But parents can help to improve the reading readiness level that their sons have when they start school. In so doing, parents can help almost all boys to become achievers in school. There are many small changes that parents can make in their approach to parenting that can make a significant difference in their son's reading readiness when they start school. Some of these are: speak to very young children, including boys, face to face so that they can see your lips moving. Speak with, not just to, young children, including boys, regularly. Read to and with children, including boys, and listen to them read. Engage in physical contact for boys as well as part of that reading experience. Let children, including boys, see you engaged in reading more than just bedtime stories. Give children, including boys, their own books even before they can read. As well, educational research shows that boys that have been provided with books with certain specific characteristics are more likely to have a higher level of reading readiness. These are books that have a male as a central character, books that the boys actually own, even if they cannot read them, books that contain action, adventure, and/or problem solving by boys, books that portray the central character modeling behaviors such as reading, problem solving, and searching for and applying knowledge, books in which the vocabulary allows them to be read to boys by their parents in their early years and by the boys themselves once they begin to read for themselves. Unfortunately, books with these characteristics are not always easy for parents to find. For that reason, my team has produced 2 series of books specifically for preschool and early school-age boys. One is The Adventure of Jack and Gizmo, and the other is The Adventures of Jamal and Gizmo. Both series are also available in French: Les Aventures de Jacques et Gizmo and Les Aventures de Jamal et Gizmo. These books are available online at my website, www.drjamessbrown.com. They're also available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and many other online bookstores. There are also many things that parents can do to help boys that are already in school to improve their level of achievement. Number 1, do 3 things on a regular basis. Have conversations daily with your child about events at school. Set and clarify expectations. Model the desired behavior, for example, reading. 2, share their personal knowledge about their child with his teachers. Number 3, engage in parent-teacher conferences where parents and teachers meet as equals. Number 4, have the same high expectations for their sons as for their daughters. Number 5, ensure that the school system applies gender equity in its hiring practices. Number 6, insist that the school treats different types of knowledge, styles of learning, and methods of demonstrating knowledge and learning as equally valuable. Surely it is better for parents to be proactive to prevent school problems rather than allowing them to develop and then attempting to deal with them after the fact. This has been based on the book Rescuing Our Underachieving Sons. This book is available online, again at my website. It's available from lulu.com, from Amazon, from Barnes & Noble, and from other online bookstores. The presentation has also been based on the booklet number 1, How Parents Can Help Their Sons to Become Achievers in School. Now this booklet is available at nominal cost by email from jimbrownCDN@hotmail.com.